We all have this idea of honor as something strong, something solid as a rock, a fortress, right? But what if it's not that at all? What if it's actually more like a really fragile mirror, something that reflects who we are, but is terrifyingly easy to shatter? Let's take a closer look.
So let's just get right to it. What is honor, really? I mean, it's easy to just say, oh, it's being a good person, having integrity, but the truth is, it's way more complicated than that. It's this delicate dance between who we believe we are on the inside and how the entire world sees us on the outside.
And that's where this whole idea comes from, this central metaphor for our explainer today. Honor as a brittle mirror. It's a reflection, right? It shows us our own self-worth, and it shows the world our social standing. But the thing is, it's incredibly fragile. A single blow, whether it comes from someone else or heck, from our own actions, can shatter the whole thing into a million pieces. So, what are these forces that can break the mirror? All right, so let's get into it. First up, we're going to look at the two big forces that can shatter this mirror. The external attacks, just simple words from other people, and the internal conflicts, the battles raging inside our own heads. Just listen to this cry from Cassio in Shakespeare's Othello. It is absolutely gut-wrenching. He's not just saying he's embarrassed. He feels like he has lost the immortal part of himself, his soul, his very humanity. And what's left? He says it's bestial, just an animal. This shows you exactly how deeply our honor is tied to what other people think of us. And that reputation can be destroyed so easily. In Much Ado About Nothing, a single lie, a false accusation, turns someone's good name into a rotten orange. The stain it leaves is like a pit of ink. It's permanent. You can't wash it clean. I mean, think about that today, right? A rumor spreads online in seconds, and the damage is done instantly.
But it's not always someone else coming after you. Sometimes we're the ones holding the hammer. This is the internal struggle we see in a character like Tarquin. On one shoulder, you've got his duty, his honor as a martial man. On the other, you've got his hot-burning will, his own overwhelming selfish desires. He knows what the right thing to do is. He knows the honorable path, but he chooses desire. And in that moment, he shatters his own mirror from the inside out. So if honor is this fragile thing that can break so easily, maybe it's not all it's cracked up to be. This brings us to a much more cynical view of honor. Not as some lofty virtue, but maybe as just a useful tool. Or maybe not even that. And for that, we have to talk about Falstaff. He is maybe the greatest cynic in all of literature, and he just completely demolishes the whole idea of honor, especially on the battlefield. Someone asks him, what is honor? His answer? It's air. It's nothing, a puff of wind. And who has it? The guy who died for it last Wednesday? A lot of good it does him now, right? Falstaff just keeps hammering away at it. He boils honor down to its simplest form. What is honor? A word. And what's in that word? Air. It's not real. It's just a sound you make. Then he hits you with the pure logic of it all. Can honor fix a broken leg? No. Can the dead feel it? No. It offers zero comfort, zero release from pain. It's useless to the one person who actually made the ultimate sacrifice for it. So why would anyone die for it? And in the end, after all that, what is it? Just a mere scutcheon, an emblem, a coat of arms painted on a tombstone. It's an empty symbol that only means something to the people still living. For the guy in the ground who paid the price, it's meaningless. But you don't have to be a total cynic like Falstaff to see the downside. I mean, look at someone like the Roman general Coriolanus. His honor is the real deal, born from his incredible valiantness as a warrior. But that same honor is so rigid, so unbending, that it becomes a huge liability in peacetime politics. The pride that made him the great soldier makes him a terrible politician, and it ends up destroying him. Okay, now we're going to dial up the intensity, because this is where honor gets really messy and disturbing. This is what happens when honor gets all tangled up with family, with your bloodline, and with the crushing weight of shame. This is just horrifying. The way this is laid out like a simple checklist, that's exactly the kind of cold, terrifying logic we see in a character like Titus Andronicus. After his daughter is assaulted, he doesn't see her as a victim to be cared for, he sees her as a permanent stain on the family's name. And his solution, in his twisted mind, is to purify the family honor by killing his own child. It's a chilling, absolutely chilling look at how an extreme honor code can make people do the unthinkable.
And this idea, this vulnerability of family honor, it's everywhere. For King Lear, his world is shattered by the filial ingratitude of his own daughters. For Posthumus and Cymbeline, all it takes is a few simple lies from a villain to completely convince him his wife has been unfaithful. And for Leonardo, his daughter's supposed shame isn't just her problem. He feels it as a deep stain on his entire family, on his very blood. Okay, so we've seen the mirror get smashed by words, by our own desires, by politics, by family drama. So what do we do with all these broken pieces? Let's bring this whole metaphor full circle and see what these shards of the mirror really tell us about ourselves. So, if you look at all the forces we've talked about, it's a pretty even split, isn't it? You've got the outside world coming at you with slander and political maneuvering. But then you have the internal battles, your own desires, the heavy burden of family shame. It's a constant threat, coming from all directions, all threatening to break that mirror. And that really brings us to the main point of all this. Honor isn't some stone fortress you can hide inside. It's a reflection. It is completely dependent on what other people see in us, and just as importantly, on our own strength to manage the battles raging inside our own minds. It's this constant, fragile negotiation between ourselves and the world. Which leaves us with one final big question for right now. For us, if honor has always been this fragile, this easy to break, what does that mean for us today? In an age of social media, of cancel culture, of instant online judgment, where a single tweet or an old photo can destroy a reputation in minutes, is our own mirror more brittle than it has ever been before?